I hope the wrath of 1,000 lawyers comes down on this woman because I know how much goes into planning a vacation and, your dreams, your hopes, all to have it shattered. And watch the person who did this get on the cruise and have an amazing time. Well, hello, beautiful people. It's Mama Goob. So today I want to do something very different than I've done on this channel. Mostly it's about Mama Goob in the wild and my adventures in traveling. So I am relaunching this channel with some trips I plan to take on shortly with my family. But so we're in the planning phase of a cruise, right? So because I'm in this planning phase, I think I've watched every single thing on a cruise that I can find. So a recent story came up that intrigued me. It really has everything in it. It has people going on a cruise for the first time. It has a very unethical travel agent. It has multi-level marketing tendrils. So there's really something for everybody in this story. And it outraged me. It outraged me so much that I decided to make this video. The first part I'm going to show you is from a channel called Dawn's Family Vacations. Now, I love this guy. I originally found him because he was very vocal on the issues going on at Disney World. So, but he goes on cruises all the time. He does some cruise news. So he's going to talk about a story that happened just a few days ago in everybody's most loved port of Miami. It's actually the biggest cruise port in the world. So, which is just a stone's throw from my house. No, not really, but it's about some first-time cruise passengers who were stranded at the dock, thinking they had cruise tickets, and they did not. So let's see what Dawn has to say about it.
In another story, apparently 26 members of a booking by a travel agent for a large group were left at the terminal. And she's blaming Carnival Cruise Lines. The passengers are blaming her. Carnival Cruise Line is pushing back, saying it's on her.
Yeah.
Let's get into this topic. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the mishaps of people who go on tours that aren't with the cruise line and what possibly can happen.
Yeah, he just did a story about that before this.
Cruise just a little bit easier.
I'll link Dawn's video below.
And keep you up to date with everything going on in the cruise industry. I hope to do it as lighthearted as possible and keep you entertained as well. And again, it really does help the channel and I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's get into this story. So passengers arrived thinking that they were going to get on the Carnival cruise ship and go on their vacation. It was part of a travel agent booking. They are all paid in full. They had their cabin assigned, but when they got there, the cruise line couldn't match their booking.
Well, so here's the first thing. They thought they had their cabin assigned, but there's a lot of fishy stuff going on in the story.
To a cabin number. Apparently, a few days earlier, the ship was overbooked or something, and they canceled these people's cruises. 26 people in all.
That's not how it works, but okay.
Yes. Now, the people said they were in the terminal. Confusion was going crazy. Everything was nuts. The travel agent came by and said, don't worry, I'm going to go work this out. You're going to get on the ship. Don't worry about it.
And then
she left and got on the ship. And then that's the last they saw or heard
she went on the
from
cruise
her
herself
that day. One passenger said she's out $2,800 plus airfare plus hotels, and then she says, what happened to the travel agent? Where did she go? Well, the travel agent made a statement. And so I don't like talking about other travel agents because everybody does business differently. But this is just a watch out for this type of booking. So the travel agent made a statement to news media. I'll just call her Monica.
Her
She
name's
says,
Monica.
I've been booking travel for over 13 years. I have been doing it. My annual cruise every year with no paid guests ever being left behind at the port before. Unfortunately, this year, 26 guests were left at the port. 6 had their boarding passes but chose to stay back with their families because they were traveling with other guests and their bookings was canceled. 12 others were paid in full and should have had their boarding passes but did not. And then 4 others were for different reasons. She says she takes full responsibility for it all. I've given a sincere apology. All guests will receive full refund and were offered a free cruise besides that. And send me the receipt of what it costs to charge their flight back home. We have a big group on board and they are having an amazing time, she says. But my heart is with those left behind.
Okay.
And then she says, this will be my last public statement. Any other statements will come from legal counsel. In other words, she's really...
better lawyer up.
Getting the lawyers involved right now because there's going to be a lot of money involved in this situation and people could turn and sue.
They should.
People were saying also... at least she could have come back out and talked to them and explained what's going on.
Like another
instead of
travel
just
blogger
leaving
said.
them outside while she stayed on the ship. She uses a website that will take people's money and hold it for them. So it's not going to her directly. It's a third party.
So this is again from my research, total bunk. So, but I'll let him finish.
And they're saying that their money will be there and they are going to be refunded. And there's no issue that she will refund them when she gets off the ship after this cruise.
Sure.
People are saying, well, why can't you do it now? Why can't you do it on the ship? Don't you have a computer on the ship? I'm sure you're traveling. I'm sure you could it's just a matter of clicking buttons.
Or a phone call.
Can't you get somebody at your agency to do it? And why was there no immediate communication right away? And as of right now, they say they haven't received their money, but we'll see what happens. She says when she returns on the Saturday, she's going to issue these refunds. But this is just one of those things that you, again, remember, this is a third party holding money for you. I'm a firm believer in the way I do my stuff is that when you book through me, I book it directly through Princess Cruise Lines or Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines or Norwegian or Holland or whoever I'm using.
Carnival.
And they issue the bill. The bills go through them. They're the ones holding people's money.
Yes.
So if anything goes wrong, it's the cruise lines that owe you the money. I don't have any money. I never collect money. I don't do anything like that. And it just makes things a lot less complicated for me if any of this kind of stuff ever goes on. But yeah, the big thing for me was she should have gone out and talked to people in person. I know it's an uncomfortable situation. I know you probably didn't have any answers. It's just, yeah, one of those things that just happened. But Carnival says, yeah, they canceled it before. She says she was aware of that. She tried to rebook them, but the cruise was full. And, well, okay, but then you should be notifying passengers at that point.
Yeah, February.
You shouldn't be waiting for them to get to the terminal to find out. You should be calling them and saying, hey, don't get on that flight. Let's start getting your refund process going. Let's do what we can if you can't get them on the ship. So, yep. That's probably why they're going to go to their legal department because they're afraid of possibly a class action lawsuit coming from those 26 passengers.
A small class. So now here is the actual news story from Fox 9 in, I guess, Minnesota, the Twin Cities, about the residents who went on this cruise. So they flew all the way to Miami, which is not a quick flight. And they thought they were going to get on the Carnival cruise. And we'll talk about what exactly the cruise was for in a minute. And nothing. They had no reservation. I mean, you know, let's hear it from the actual people.
A group of Twin Cities cruise passengers was left at the terminal last Sunday, and they were watching that ship leave without them.
They blame the travel agent, who blames Carnival Cruise Lines.
The travel agent
puts it back on the agent in any case. It was chaos for those who just wanted to sail away for a week. Fox 9's Karen Scullin is in the
I mean, that's the reason why you use a travel agent, right? Just for situations like this.
newsroom after speaking with 2 passengers left behind. Karen.
Cherie Goudot had been planning this cruise for a year as she was being treated for thyroid cancer. Then, when 2 family members passed away during that time, the trip with her sister became even more important. But it all unraveled in a matter of minutes the day that they were supposed to leave. A week ago, they were on their way to Miami, 2 sisters who couldn't wait to board the Twin Cities takeover 90s throwback cruise on the Carnival Horizon. It was a much-needed spring break.
I was looking forward to hearing Juvenile, reliving some 90s music.
I love
the fresh
90s
food
music.
that was going to be on the boat, the burgers that was going to be on the boat, just hanging out with people.
But when the pair went to the cruise terminal to board the ship last Sunday, their excitement quickly turned to confusion, anger, and disbelief. They were not going to be able to board.
The next morning, we wake up, we get to the port. They can't find my name anywhere. I'm
So
not tied to their room.
she flew out the day before, which is very common.
Somebody else is in their room.
They say their travel agent passed by and said she would fix things, but didn't, and then disappeared.
She comes back, she walks all past us, assuring that we're going to get a room. This is what she's telling us. She goes back on the ship, never comes back out, never says anything
She
to
was
us.
I feel
drinking
like it's
margaritas.
unethical. Like, how could you just leave that many people standing out there? And everybody that was out there was booked under her.
Cherie says she's out $2,800 that she paid in June, along with the 50 people she was standing with on the pier.
When she never came out to address people, and that boat was selling off, and we're sitting on that port, people were in tears.
Oh, yeah.
People were upset. They were angry.
The travel agent, Monica Faulkner, apologized on social media and said in part,
Public service announcement. We extend our sincerest apologies to those who were unable to embark on our R&B old school cruise. Your frustration is completely understandable, and we deeply regret any inconvenience this may have caused. Nah, they're just stranded in Miami from Minnesota. That's not an inconvenience. During spring break. Rest assured, we are taking immediate action to rectify the situation. All affected customers will receive a full refund, along with complimentary cruise package as a gesture of our commitment to making things right. Your satisfaction is our top priority while we're getting our own drink on the cruise. And we valued your continued trust and support. We look forward to the opportunity to serve you again in the future and provide you with the exceptional experience you deserve. Once again, we apologize for any disappointment or inconvenience caused, and we thank you for your understanding. Are you fucking for real? No, I mean, really. Are you for real, lady?
rest assured, we are taking immediate action to rectify the situation. All affected customers will receive a full refund, along with a complimentary cruise package as a gesture of our commitment to making things right. Faulkner is currently on the cruise, but I spoke to her by phone. She says Carnival canceled a number of bookings on February 21st. She tried to rebook them on the 22nd, but the ship sold out.
A month
She did not explain
prior.
why the money wasn't returned then, and the clients notified. Faulkner does say their money is being held by a company called Travel Joy, who she says independent agents use to collect money for bookings.
So what I've found through listening to different things and research, this Travel Joy company is just a way that she can collect credit card numbers more securely. So she doesn't have the numbers. This company transmits the credit card numbers to the travel agent, who then forwards them on to the ship, to the Carnival Cruise Line in this case. They don't hold money. The money should have went back to Carnival, and then I guess if it's true that they were overbooked and canceled them, they should have automatically received a refund. So none of this makes any sense.
and that the money will be returned. Cherie and Dee Dee aren't buying it.
And if you were going to refund, right? She keeps saying refund. You would have refunded already. You've been on that ship refunding people the money.
Well, not only that, like did they check their credit cards? Were they ever really charged to begin with? I know they showed a receipt, but I don't see how physically that can happen because listen, cruise lines will cancel you for the damnedest reasons. So, I was just reading for my cruise line, if you accidentally add something to your cart, like a part of your cruise, a add-on package or an excursion, and you forget to pay it, you run the risk of having your whole cruise canceled because you have a balance. Okay? No joke. You don't play, but I would expect the money to come right back up on my credit card because where else would it go? Granted, I didn't use a travel agent this time, but our first cruise we used a travel agent. And I will tell you, it went right to Norwegian Cruise Lines, my payment. And then I got an email confirmation from Norwegian plus a stateroom number. And I could get on the website for Norwegian and see my ship and see all the details for the cruise, see every package that I had booked for excursions. I feel sorry for these people because they're first time cruisers, but you know, it's good to use a travel agent, but man, you got to be so careful.
Cherie and Dee Dee stayed with their family in Florida for the week, but they
Yeah.
said some people tried to fly back and
Yeah, you
couldn't
had to pay
because of
for
the
food.
snowstorm. Meanwhile, others said they sat outside booked hotels waiting for a cancellation. Now, I did see a couple people on social media supporting Faulkner,
Of course.
who again says she'll refund the money upon her Saturday return. We reached out to Travel Joy to see if the money is actually there, but did not yet hear back. In the newsroom, Karen Scullen, Fox 9.
So here's an update from the travel agent, Monica Lorena Faulkner. I've been booking travel for 13 years. I've been doing my annual cruise for 10 with no paid guests being left at the port before. Unfortunately, this year, 26 guests were left at the port. 6 had their boarding passes but chose to stay back with their family friends. 12 others were paid in full and should have had their boarding pass. The other 4 were for different reasons. Okay. But I take full responsibility for all of it. I've given a sincere apology to all, and I have given a sincere apology. All guests will receive a full refund, and we offered a free cruise to send me the receipt of what it costs to change their flight back home. How about their food and their hotel? We have a big group on board, and they are having an amazing time. Just twist the knife, why don't you? But my heart is with those left behind. This will be my last public statement. Any other statements will come from legal counsel. Thank you, Monica. Guys, I don't know. If this woman has a career afterwards, I have no faith in humanity. Now, upon further research, because people, we're talking like on Reddit how this is a multi-level marketing company. So let's talk about it. Here we go. Plan Net Now Marketing. Meet 2020 Club member Monica Faulkner. So she is part of this group. She's from Minneapolis, and she's in St. Cloud. She also owns a local beauty supply store. So she knows she's big in the community. And she has a mentor, Tia. I wonder if Tia talked her into getting errors and omissions insurance, because somebody who has a beauty shop, a beauty supply store, is she can have the money to, compensate these people for their flights back and new cruises? I don't know. So these are just a few pictures of her. She obviously loves to travel, which is awesome. So what the hell's Plan Net now? I had never heard of it. So upon further review, here is their compensation plan. Okay, the highlighted part. Direct sales commissions to the selling reps. When you, as a Plan Net marketing rep, sell the Intelli Travel Independent Travel Agency business, an ITA sale, for $179.95 and $39.95 monthly, you are paid a direct sales commission of $50. There is no limit to the number of $50 direct sales commissions you may earn. That is as multi-level as I have ever heard. And people should be tuned in to what exactly it is that they're signing up for. Okay? So here's the payout to the selling rep. So this is all about bonuses and things like that. Let's see. Here's the income disclosure statement for 2023, which every multi-level marketing company is required to disclose. So let's see. So you have the bulk of the people are reps, right? So they can make this is for a year. So they make an average of $41.64 a year, with the high being $14,916 and the low being 0. Okay, so average 6 months. And then you go all the way up. So here, if you're a lucky 3.38%er, your average income is $838.02. Okay. And by the way, these are average hours worked per week. So, if you just worked more hours, maybe you could be part of the 0.34%. Okay. So those people, an average, now we're talking some money. You still can't live on $25,000 a year, but who am I to say? And then the director. So this is the main person in charge. They do over 60 hours a week. So all you have to do is pop more hours in, guys, and you could make an average of $1.1 million a year. Okay. But the total that you can make on average is $1,000 a year. Okay. So these poor people have never been on a cruise before. I wonder if they knew they were trusting their hard-earned money to a multi-level marketing travel agent. This is wrong on so many levels, guys. These people just wanted a nice vacation. I mean, perhaps they have to take some responsibility for themselves, but how would they have known? I don't know. So that's it. To recap, 26 people were left behind at the port of Miami, watching their dream vacation sail away without them because of an unscrupulous travel agent. Okay? Multi-level marketing travel agent who had no business. She had no business planning a trip like this. I don't know where the money went. She blames Carnival Cruise Line, but like I said, I'd like to see these people's credit card statements. I wonder if they were ever charged to begin with. Not only that, did the travel agent help book their flights too and the hotel that they stayed the night before at Miami? And if the travel agent knew on February 21st that the people had been bumped from their room, from their stateroom, why didn't she contact them then and say, look, you got bumped from your stateroom for whatever reason, don't get on the plane to go to Miami. That never happened. She just blissfully pretended it didn't happen and went on her way to Have a nice cruise. Anyways, guys, that's really all I had for you today. I hope the wrath of 1,000 lawyers comes down on this woman, because I know how much goes into planning a vacation and, your dreams, your hopes, all to have it shattered. And watch the person who did this get on the cruise and have an amazing time. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye!